Good morning, Avid. It's great to have you back. So today is the 29th and it is Monday. I hope you had a wonderful spring break. So let's take a look at what we have going on for the week. You'll be able to come back to this video and check in if you do miss anything, since I am going to go a little bit quickly. But first of all, let's take a look at our agenda. So we are on a modified schedule this week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I'll review that calendar with you in just a moment. And then I'll also review what your assignments are for the week and specifically what your asynchronous assignment is today. So just to review our schedule, we are on 246 today, on Wednesday, and on Friday. So if you are going back to school, we will start with Orange Cohort, and that will be on Thursday. So just keep that in mind, and if you have that on your schedule, just remember about that, and take a look at this if you need to kind of remind yourself of that. So some important schedule changes because of the way the schedule is structured this week. We will not have a binder check this week. You just had a binder check last time we met, so you will not have a binder check this week at all. So your next binder check won't be for another 2 weeks. So just make sure that you're doing your notes and completing all of your assignments and agendas so that this way you're ready to go for that binder check. Instead of binder checks on Friday, we're going to have a tutorial. So you will turn in your completed tutorials to the sheet, to the Google Sheets, not into the Dropbox. Put it into the Google Sheet for me so that this way I know how to group you, please. And please make sure that you have that in by Thursday. Just as we have been doing at the end of tutorial on Friday, you will be turning in your reflection into the Dropbox, but don't turn it in before that. Turn it in when you are done with your reflection, please. So let's take a look at what our week looks like. And I'm going to jump into Power School here just to show you for just a moment. So we are on week 11. We are continuing our work with our personal insight questions. Thank you for those of you who turned in your digital scrapbook. I'm hoping that it kind of helps to jog your memory a little bit. And this is a good opportunity for you to go back and take a look at some of the things that you put in that digital scrapbook so that this way you're ready to tell your story. Remember that your personal insight questions should be based on a story of you that tells something about your character instead of coming out and just saying that this is your character. Right? So we will continue to kind of develop and work on that. And I'm going to talk about a unique opportunity too that just came up for us at the end of this. So the insight questions are here where it says University of California System. The insight questions website is linked through here, so you have some specific reminders on here. Remember that we will be completing all eight of the personal insight questions, and again, it's because they are generic enough to where you can apply them to different types of writing. So whether it's a scholarship or whether it's another college application, you will be able to come back and use these. So today for our first one, we are looking at the first question. Describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, helped resolve disputes, or contributed to group efforts over time. So again, this is a great opportunity for you to tell a story about a leadership opportunity instead of just saying, I was determined or I was a great leader. Tell the story of it. The one thing you want to remember, well, actually two things you want to remember is one, you have to keep it at 350 words or less. So you cannot go over 350 words. And then you also want to make sure that you are answering the prompt. So make sure that that prompt is answered when you go through and do it. So that is your assignment for today. And for Wednesday, actually. So if we take a look back in Power School, you're going to see that with the modified schedule, you're going to check in for attendance today, watch this video for the instructions on the assignment, and then you're going to start on that leadership PIQ or personal insight question. That personal insight question is going to be due on Wednesday. So Wednesday, we'll check in again for attendance purposes. I'll answer any questions you have, but you're going to continue working on that PIQ one. So you have technically Monday and Wednesday to work on it in class, especially or using your asynchronous time as you need to, but it will be due by 2 o'clock on that day. We are going to move fairly quickly at this point because we do want to make sure that we get all 8 questions answered and that you get a chance for feedback on those. And then on Friday, you will have your tutorial. You will see that the Dropbox is already put in for you for the PIQ1 on leadership. So again, keep your writing to no more than 350 words. Answer the prompt, and don't forget to tell your story. So that will be in by Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Your tutorial, again, you will use the link, and that link is already posted in your tutorial link on Power School, so you can jump in there and you can go ahead and use that link to go ahead and sign up for your tutorials as well. So that tutorial, again, you want to make sure you post the link here on Thursday night Friday when we are done with the tutorial, and when you are done with your reflection, then you will go ahead and drop it into the Dropbox here in week 11. Okay, so that is our week in review for you. So you are going to be working, primarily on your own. But again, this is your time to kind of work with that personal insight question and see how you feel about it. So speaking of the personal insight questions, we do have this very unique opportunity that came up. We have been offered a chance to participate in this program called Story 2. So Story 2 is a way for you to kind of write that story. You're going to find that, it's kind of difficult sometimes to talk about yourself, especially when you're limited with things like word counts and things like that. So Story 2 is this opportunity for us to be able to do that. So the thing with this is, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky because I know we have other things going on. But the thing with this is that for us to be able to get this free, you actually do have to register for one of their boot camps. And I cannot recommend this boot camp enough. The people who did it last year by far had some of the most memorable personal statements. And if I can even get them to come and talk to you guys, I will. And I'm going to actually try, because we had some of our avid seniors who did this. But here's the thing with this. So you get them done. You basically get them done in this boot camp. So they will walk you through step by step, which is something that we don't necessarily have the time to do, especially with our very short schedule. So they will walk you through this step by step for your personal insight questions. So there's 2 dates that you want to keep in mind: April 15th and then April 22nd. It's from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So it is a commitment, but it is a commitment that I absolutely cannot recommend enough. It is way worth it. It is something that you are going to see huge gains, huge differences in your personal statements if you do this. The other thing is that by doing that, by signing up for one of those 2 days, you automatically get signed up for the May 13th personal insight question date or workshop. That is specifically for the questions that we're working on right now. So the UC personal questions, the insight questions that we're working on in class, you would sign up for the May 13th date as well. This would also give you access to Story 2 platform. It's you can check it out at www.story2.com. And this, if you kind of look at it, it will say try it for free, but it will only give you like a very limited window to look at it, not to work on any of it. But totally worth it. Again, I cannot recommend it enough. It's one of those things that is once in a lifetime. Like this is an expensive program, and the county is sponsoring it for us. So please, this, if there's only one thing you take advantage of this year, this needs to be it by far. I cannot stress that enough. Okay. So take a look at that when you can. And again, your personal insight question, you'll still start with the draft. And starting with the draft, I think will also give you an idea of just how these are not easy to do. These personal insight questions are not easy. Start it out, go through your draft. I'll give you some feedback on it at the end of the week once you turn it in, and then we'll move on from there. So I'll check in with you on Wednesday if you have any questions on anything, Story 2, or on your personal insight question. And I will see you then. Thanks.